So this is our interview with Giorgia from It's a Lie. We really enjoyed our conversation. She was so sweet and down to earth. And in like this weird dichotomy, she's such a big presence on stage and such an amazing voice. This band really needs to be heard. They are just straight out of the 80s.
She's the first artist we've ever talked into opening her refrigerator for us. So here it is.
Mark and Stace, is it right?
That's
Yes.
us.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
And
Thank you.
Dog. He's always here.
Oh,
He's
nice.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jax.
Jax.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Nice. I have 2 cats. Maybe you can see them walking around
2 cats.
at
Okay.
some. Yeah. Thank you. And thank
what
you
are your
for
cats called?
Herbie and
Mhm.
Jeannie.
Okay, Herbie and Jeannie.
So
We have
Jeannie. Yes.
we have 4. We have Annabelle Lee, Vladimir, Little Bear, and Lucius.
Oh, very nice.
We
Sometimes
didn't
Good.
set out to be a 4-cat family. We just ended up being one.
they kind of happen to you after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I was already close to bringing the 3rd one, but then my boyfriend told me just the cat or me. So I said, okay, so I will
The
stay
cat
with you.
or me.
Yeah. We will see. We will see for how long. So
My
thank you
mom,
for being patient with me with my English. You know, I'm Italian, so I try my best.
Oh no, you sound great. You sound great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I was trying to think of great Italian hard rock bands from the 80s. I can't think of any. It's all I can think of is like Ennio Morricone and like the classical,
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yes.
There
No.
wasn't like a there wasn't like a Bon Jovi from
No,
from
never.
Italy, it's just
Yeah.
I couldn't, unless you know one. I couldn't think of one,
No, I think that in Italy, there were a lot of really cool underground bands in the
Right.
80s.
Right.
But if we have to think to a big band in Italy, we never had one. In rock and metal, I said, for example, Lacuna Coil, which
Yeah.
are really big from Italy, but anything else was like not really in the culture. So
Yeah. Okay, well, good. I feel
we
better then
tried
because I
it.
just couldn't think of it. Yeah. So
yeah, we did talk to Herma, I guess, was it last season from
From
Thick and
Thick and
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
She was really great.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're a great
Nice. Really nice.
But you guys are our top 3. So
group. Definitely. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
and we've loved the last 2 albums. In fact, we were spinning you this morning. Just really, you all just bring so much experience to this project, and it shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So the name of the band is very difficult to Google. Like how did you come up with the name It's ALIE? What is it does it
Acronym?
stand for something? Is it like an acronym? Where did the name come
Yeah. I think we did a mistake because we really liked it. But then first of all, they couldn't really pronounce it. So we're like, what's the name? Italy, it's a lie. So it is It's a Lie. And it's like the first thing is that you can kind of see the name of where we are all come from. So Italy, you can kind of see it in the name. And if you split, It's a Lie. And it's a really like how can I say it? Like philosophical stuff.
Okay.
Like how our thoughts can be lies from time to time, and how can we really trust what we think or what we feel? We never know. So it was like about that concept, and you can also see it in the last album. Atmosphere is also about that kind of concept, which is already in the name of the band.
Yeah, Google really wants it to be It's Alive. Like it does not want to say It's ALIE.
But interestingly enough, when I was typing it into the document wanted to change it to Italy. It was like, Italy? I'm like, no.
No. So you see,
technology. Yeah.
So you see, it was a mistake. So we are always laughing about it and say, what's the name of the band? Everybody are asking, and we said, it's a lie, but maybe we just did a mistake because it's too difficult to write and even to pronounce it. So too late.
I do love the serpent kind of apostrophe.
That's
really yeah, and it's about the lies. So it's the snake, like Christian thing. So yeah, we like these kind of little details.
Yeah. Very
All,
nice.
only us can understand, but it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Good.
I kind of got the vibe, Lilith definitely was kind of fitting with the It's a Vi. How did you come about the name for Emosphere?
Yeah, the
So
album.
Emosphere. So yeah, Lilith, it's, as you already said, it's kind of clear, and it's the black moon and astrological stuff. I'm really interested in all the spiritual things, so esoteric. And so yeah, Emosphere is always a combo of two things. So is this the sphere of the emotions? Because we really think that the emotion got to be understood, and not only how can I say, like, the action on the top of the emotions can be a disaster if you don't really understand what's going on. So this is only also the concept of the album. So understanding the fear and anxieties, because I got to some kind of anxiety period. So I got really to understand, and not only action of the panic. So then it will be a disaster, I would say. So this is only about the emotion and really understanding the emotions, and not just giving them for truth without understanding. Am I talking quite okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
Your
awesome.
English
Thank
is
you.
great.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anxiety. So
I will have to say, we're both children of the 80s.
Yeah.
So when I saw, you picked some iconic songs to cover, and I thought, oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, you can't do Barracuda. You cannot do Heartbreaker. God, I'm so afraid to. But then when I listened to it, you killed it. I liked your
thank you.
version better than the original.
Yeah.
You had more emotion. You had better riffs. So how
Thank
did
you, guys.
how did you pick out these songs? Did you try a couple, or did just kind of a
No.
favorite?
With Barracuda, I think it was really love at first sight. I already covered it with my cover bands, and so I think it was really a song where I can really express how I sing rock and roll. So and it was, of course, a really great female rock song. So we said, why not? And so Barracuda was really easy. With Heartbreaker, it was not the first thing. It's the same thing, because it was not the first choice for us. But we tried some, and then in the end, we just discovered Heartbreaker, and we said, "Oh, this is really cool for instruments." And not we never play with how can I say it, the computer going behind. You know what I mean? We are all really playing live music,
okay, right,
so guitar, bass, and not fake stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
All in the
So
same room.
yeah. So for us, Heartbreaker was really, I said, okay, we the story was that we just listened to it 3 times in the rehearsal room, and I was just printing out the lyrics, and the guys writing what they were. I said, okay, let's try it. And so in the end, it was really good. So we said, okay, let's do it. And so we did Heartbreaker, and that's the story.
That turned out great.
Oh, it really turned out great. Yeah, so clearly you can sing the paint off the walls, because you have kind of that melodic, powerful, kind of with that touch of grit in there. Who do you get compared to most often, and do you agree or disagree with those comparisons?
Doro,
Okay.
the German singer, and I have to say that I can understand in a certain way, but I also disagree. I have to say it, because yeah, I love her. I really love her, but I think she's much more heavier than me. I'm not that heavy. I can sing heavy, but it's not really my thing. I'm more in blues stuff and rock and roll stuff. She is really heavy, and I also sang with her
Did
on
you?
the yeah.
Wow.
I had the chance and a huge honor to sing with Sweet, the band, for their 50th anniversary in Berlin, and so she was as a guest too. So we sang together, and it was really really nice. Yeah, it was like a dream coming true for me. But yeah, I really like that they are comparing me to her. But for example, if I had to think to a singer, I would more say, for example, Anouk. You know them? You know
No.
her? She's from Holland. So I think she's a really good singer. And I really, really studied her a lot when I was a kid. So maybe that's for me. But maybe I'm the only one who can really listen to it and say, I'm like her, but then maybe I'm not. But who knows?
Right.
Maybe that's
Well,
only
Dora's
my
not
feeling.
bad. Dora's a good comparison. You could take it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
I would have said Guernica for previous Thunder Mother. Now they're in Gems, but I could kind of
Oh, thank you.
get that whole
She's a good
vibe.
singer, too.
Yeah,
Good.
definitely.
I like her too.
You've got
Also
some
Thunder
great
Mother.
contacts. I saw a picture online, I think on Instagram, of you with Joey Tempest from Europe.
Yeah, I
The
just toured
man,
with them.
the man does not age. I mean, I
No,
hate him.
no, no,
I
no,
hate him.
no, no,
It's
no.
just like,
It's unbelievable.
yeah, I mean, he looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
25 years old. It's just
yeah. I think he looks even better now, if I
right.
can say it.
I'm
He's
so
more like
jealous.
a
Yeah,
man. You know, when he was young, he was more like a kid. Now he's really,
yeah, yeah.
really good looking, and he's also fantastic as a person. He's really humble, and you know, it's crazy because I have the chance to tour with such a big artist with
Mm,
Rock Meets Classic, because I'm in Rock Meets Classic is a tour, and we are touring in Germany mostly
mhm.
with big, big artists like Joy Tempest, Alice Cooper, Ian Gillan. I did also Francis Rossi from Status Quo and some other smaller, let's say smaller. So, and for me, it's incredible when you talk, for example, with Joy Tempest or Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper came to me and he asked me, "Sorry, Georgia, can you tell me again the lyrics from School's Out because I can't remember them." I was like, "Okay, I tell you," and I was really like sweating. Oh, maybe I don't remember them too. But in
Uh,
the end, everything was good. And so when you talk with such big artists, they really did something, in music history. So and they are so humble and friendly. It is really, really great.
that is great.
So yeah.
So you definitely have we were kind of you have worked with Matt Sinner.
Yeah.
Obviously you were in Sinner for are you
How
still
did that happen?
yeah.
How did Sinner decide they wanted your vocals?
Because I joined Rock Meets Classic in 2018, the tour, and Matt
Right.
Sinner was, let's say, the mind behind it.
Okay.
And I was singing in the Matt Sinner band with Rock Meets Classic and other two girl singing and a male singer. So we were in four, and he was really like, let's say, impressed from my vocals, and so he asked me to just join him for Santa Muerte, the
Yeah.
album from Sinner, 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like right before the pandemic. So yeah, and so that happened, and we toured also together. We did Australia and Japan, and it was really funny. And yeah, that's how it happened.
That's great. What's it like touring in Japan? Are they still like, are they just are polite and
Yeah,
clap?
yeah. Like we were waiting for joining,
The roar,
the
right.
stage. Yeah, and they were like,
That's
like
what I
that.
hear. Yeah, I've never been
Yeah,
there, but
yeah,
I hear that. Everybody says that.
yeah. Crazy, and saying being
They
like
love
that,
you. They love you, but they're polite. So you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Really, really like not breaking the magic of the atmosphere. So we were like standing in front of the stage waiting for us, and we were like, they can talk between each other, but they don't want to, so it's okay.
wow. Yeah, it's a culture.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's a totally different word. It's
Yeah.
really totally different word. So for me, landing, and just going to the airport, it was like, where am I? Another planet.
Yeah, another
So
planet.
yeah.
Was Matt able to give you some of his veteran tips and tricks kind of to get through the tour? Or?
Yeah, he was really, we worked together since 2018. So, and he was really my mentor in a certain way, So it was really like behind my back. Also, in particular, I would say during the recordings of the first album, Lilith, and also, of course, Santa Muerte. And it was like having him with me during that recordings in particular was really helpful. He really was like behind me because I was a child. And so I was also scared, and I didn't have that time a big experience in the studio. So he was like really giving me tips and tricks and everything, and being really behind my back. And I was pushing, and he was saying, "Yeah, now you can push it a little more." So I said, "Okay." And in the end, I was pushing a little more, and he was right. So I had to say it. So he was right. So yeah. I really liked to work with him, and we still do, of course. After he had to stop because he just was not doing really good on the healthy side recently, but now he's doing back good. So we will see what the future will bring us.
Yeah.
So you have been called as a band kind of a no frills, just awesome rock and roll experience. You don't need pyrotechnics, you don't need elaborate costumes, you don't need crazy makeup, but I did notice you have such a stage presence. It's almost like a something you go into, something theatrical. Did you have any theatrical background, and what is your favorite way to connect with fans?
I have to say that my stage presence, I think it's just myself. So I don't know where I learned it. I was just like that. I had a lot of, I have to say, stage just experiences, because I had a cover band back in the years, and we were doing something like 2,000 concerts. So it was really a lot, and really working really a lot. And I was still in high school, but I was playing so much. So I think it was really, really a big thing for me to learn how to be on stage and releasing the animal. So, and this is how everything happened. I have also to say that I did an album, that my very first album, with Fabio from Rhapsody, and seeing him in the studio and how he was moving, it was really kind of impressive for me. So I had also to say that he was an inspiration on that side. Regarding how I connect with the fans, I'm just talking. I talk, and when I finished for example, the shows, I really like to go downstairs and talking with them and being in touch with them. So I'm really an easy person, as you can see, I think.
You're instantly relatable. I agree. Yeah, I could tell right away.
Yeah, whenever we see like somebody live, he always says, all right, they're a talker in between songs, or they're not talker.
Yeah, some bands don't talk between songs. It's just like boom,
yeah,
boom. Others, yeah, it's all personality thing.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
All right, so we wanted to talk about some of our favorite tracks from Atmosphere. So I think
Siren is I love Siren.
Oh, thank you.
Who came up with the counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Like, how did that happen?
I did it because in It's a Lie, I write, let's say, all of the lyrics, of course, and also the melodies. So I was just listening to what Raffaello, the guitar player, did, and it just came to me. One, the click is turning. Two, I think it's really cool.
The fact that it's not 1 through 4, it's 1 through 6. It's I don't know how it comes across so well, but I was so impressed with it.
It was inspiration. It arrived. It was not my thing. It arrived. And then I said, okay, let's do it. So So thank you.
All right. And then Beyond Revenge is another one of our favorites. It starts out so gloomy, and then it builds to kind of almost this angry scream. Was there any kind of inspiration, whether it be real life or fiction, for that kind of feel?
I think for all these kind of questions, we have to talk about how I just write. Because for me, it is like really feeling the music. Easy. For me, it's really feeling the music. Simon, our bass player, since, of course, Atmosphere, then we just have a new bass player for the next album we will release. But for example, the song who Simon wrote, like Beyond Revenge, for me, it was like really listening to the song and starting to sing. And usually how I work is like recording on my phone some melodies, and then I start to write the lyrics, and I start to listen again, and then I said, okay, just record it. And so how everything happens, it is like it is like it is.
So you sing into your phone?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm singing in my phone. I'm singing in my
You're like
phone.
at the airport singing into your phone.
Yeah. I have phones of like I sing, this is shit. So I had to do it again. since I found something that I really like, and then we do it. So I sing, and that's it. Yeah.
I really like the video for Beyond Revenge too. Where did you find to shoot that? That was neat.
Yeah, really cool
Uh,
location.
yeah, it's I like we are always working with a guy called Simone Vrek, and he's really, really good director, and he's doing also movies. So and it was crazy because we did both Breath of Fire and Beyond Revenge video clips in the same day. So it was kind of hot day and crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, the same day. Yeah, we are crazy. I had to say because always we record video clips in June or July, and here with the humidity is like dying. But hey, rock and roll. So let's do it. And it was fantastic because I just called him again. I said, okay, we have to do it. So like, he told me send me the songs. So I sent him the songs, and he was like, okay, let's meet there. And I said, okay, can I know where are we going? Like, what's the surrounding on everything? And he told me, absolutely not. You have to trust me. Okay, so let's do it. And we were there, and it was that really huge building just falling to pieces. And we couldn't even like walking in some parts because then we were like, ooh, maybe got died, you know? So, but it was really, really nice. And the thing is that we didn't know till then. So he was like, no, I will not tell you. You have to trust me. And so that's it. Having fun. So at least.
It's we're in Baltimore. It is humid as hell here right now too. We're kind of like
Yeah.
middle of the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. I live really close to Venice. So we have what's the English word for it? You know, when there is like the level is below the sea. So it's really like humid at it's crazy how humid it can be. So that's it. And it's really, really, really warm and humid. The humidity is like crazy. So yeah, I
I'd love
feel
to
you
go to
guys.
Venice. I'd love to go to Venice at some point and
Yeah.
see it. It just is so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is great. Yeah,
Are there
I have to
pictures of
say.
you on a gondola somewhere? You know.
Yeah, like a vampire. He's like, yeah,
I
a
knew it. I
vampire
knew
in Venice. Yeah, a vampire in Venice. So yeah.
it.
All right, so I think our last was Breath of Fire. I love the bluesy feel that was imparted to that song, and the tempo changes. What would the meaning of the Breath of Fire be for you?
Like on the lyrics side, you mean?
Yeah.
Breath of Fire. It is really about breathing when everything just got confusing. So being quiet and really breathing, and also the fire who can really burn our fears away. So that's the meaning of Breath of Fire. So it's really always in the spiritual thing, and this is my thing. I had to say it. So yeah, this is the meaning
It's hard. It's
behind Breath of
hard. It's
Fire.
hard in the moment to keep it calm when
Oh,
everything's falling apart. Yeah. I know.
yeah, it really is. I know. I absolutely know. So that's for example, for me, meditation was a really turning point in some situation because I really got anxious and spinning in the brain and not being really here. So I think it's just life and to learn how to navigate through these things. So
You find exercise helps? Sometimes if I just go for a run, it's like I'm too tired to care or be anxious.
me too. Yeah, for me it's like running is not an option. I don't like it. But if I had to do something, it's really, really working on with my breath.
Yeah.
So this is really helps me most of the times. I have to say it now. I'm really less anxious, really, really less. But it's for me, breathing. It was the thing, really the thing, and meditation and all the kinds of stuff.
I'm a big component of that deep yoga breathing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
All right, so we have a little game that we play. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So I have 100 questions in front of me, but you're only going to answer 5 of them, and you're going to pick the ones you answer. So pick 5 numbers between 1 and 100.
60.
All right.
5, right, sorry.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
15.
94.
All right. One more.
95.
All right. Question number 16. What condiments are on your refrigerator right now?
Can I look? Let me check. Let me check.
Okay.
Like, which food? Food, right?
Like sauces. and stuff,
Condiments, like
sauce.
ketchup, mustard.
Oh, sauces.
Yeah.
Let me check again. Um, things with garlic.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, for fish.
We call this segment Inside Georgia's Refrigerator.
Yes, the garlic. Oh, not good for a vampire though, but it
No,
is
not
like
good
it
for
is.
Oh, I
No.
love garlic.
Yeah.
I got
Me
addicted.
too.
My daughter got
too.
me this veggetti. You can make like pasta from squash. But
Yeah.
I found the best way is you bake it in the oven and put garlic on it. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it too. I don't know if the people around me then love it, but it is like it is.
All right. 22. If you
Yeah.
decided to run for government office, what would your campaign slogan be?
This is difficult. I would say my slogan, don't bother me. Doesn't make sense. But it makes sense. Don't bother me, everything will be fine. I think this would be, don't bother me, everything will be fine.
I like that.
Perfect. I'd vote for you.
I'd vote for you.
Number 15. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Early bird.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. At 10, I'm dead on the sofa.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you
More
too.
of a night
And
owl than I am, but yeah.
yeah, my boyfriend also is like really awake, and I'm like, oh, can we go to sleep? And it's like, no, come on. And it's really hard if you have to play, for example, for me.
Yeah.
If I have to play at 11 in the evening, my body is like, oh, don't make me do it. So yeah, early bird, definitely.
So we got to go all the way to 94. As a mad scientist, which project could you see yourself working on? Money, no object.
I didn't understand. Can you repeat it? Sorry.
Sure. If you were a mad scientist, what
Okay.
project could you see yourself working on? You know, obviously money's no object.
Yeah, what would you
Oh yeah, of course.
what would you invent? Or
Okay. The event. Let me think about it. Probably. But I think it's already existing, a robot who is doing everything in my home, like cleaning everything. I think so, right? Maybe it's already existing. So I think to something else. Oh yeah, a robot who is working for me and I'm earning the money. That would be fantastic.
there you go.
Not
Okay.
doing anything, and he's doing everything for me.
You're
And I'm,
delegating. You're
oh
delegating
yeah,
the robot.
fantastic. Oh yes, that would be great.
I definitely
So-
think we need a robot to scoop cat litter. Where's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I would love to that. Yes, the 2 little monsters can do a lot
Yeah,
of.
nobody wants to do that. Yeah.
No.
Last one you picked was 95. Have you ever had a premonition? That came-
Oh, not really a premonition. I would say like a sensation immediately before something is happening. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it really happened to me, and not only one time. It is like a sensation, an intuition. I would say, like I feel if something, not wrong, maybe not wrong, also stupid things, but sometimes I really know where the thing is going, and it's like a sensation, and then it's happening. Yeah, so it happened.
That's cool. Do you
Yeah.
you read tarot cards?
No, I don't. Not tarot, but more like Indian cards,
Oh, no.
like animals, tarots. Yeah, I'm strange, of course, but it's
Yeah.
I really like astrological stuff, like the like the deep astrological, like birth charts and all that kind of thing. My dad can stand them, but it is like it is also. So
My daughter
I like
pushed
it.
me into doing tarot cards because she said I was an astrological rock star because I'm a
Oh, really?
because I'm a Scorpio with a Pisces moon.
Oh,
So she was
wow.
like,
So a
"You
little
have
boy.
got to do tarot." So actually, I did it for a while and I got pretty good at it, but you have to keep up with it because it's a skill. And if you don't do it like every day, you start to lose it. So I got to get back to it.
Yeah, but I would say that also your look is really like a rock star. So maybe your daughter is right. So you see?
Oh, maybe that's it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do kind of live business shoots. So we went out to this farm that's in our city and they have the goats and stuff. I have this great picture. He has this cyan shirt,
Yeah.
like sparkles, and he's in the middle of this goat pen.
It's like
Love it.
it's like
Fantastic. I love it.
Vegas meets the farm. It's
I like it. I like it.
yeah.
That
And
would be
it's so funny
fantastic as a
because
cover.
where this place is in one of the scariest parts of Baltimore City. Like there had just been a shooting 2 days before, and I'm wearing this incredibly flashy shirt, trying to get gas, and I'm just like, why? How did I end up in this situation?
I love it as a
Yeah.
cover for your solo album.
There we
Love
go.
it.
Well, your cover for this album was very different than Lilith's, just kind of simple but eye-catching. Who thought of that
Yeah. How
kind
did
of
you
neat
go
cover?
for the artwork on this one versus the first one?
Yeah. The first one was a picture of myself.
Yeah.
And as you saw, with the hat. And for the second one, we wanted something but different, but also like really basic. It is nothing. I did it with the computer. So, and I'm not absolutely not good with computer stuff. So really not my thing. And it was like the idea came from me and the drummer. And I don't know if you know it, but the drummer of the band is my father.
Oh,
So
how did we miss
yeah,
that? Oh my gosh. Okay.
yeah, he's my father. And so we were always talking about ideas, and he's a genius with the names, for example. He's really the best, and he's really, really good with the names. And yeah, we were talking about the concept of the album. So we were like, oh, what about a black heart? Which the heart is the core of the emotions, but it is black and surrounded by the the red, which is the color of the heart. So it was like the thoughts that can understand the brain, who can understand the heart. So that was the concept. And as everything, we are the only ones who can understand it, but it doesn't matter. We like it.
See,
So
that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
so much attention to detail. I love that about you guys. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, thank you
detail.
so much. Thank you.
So you were recently played in May at Tom Hell's Rockfest 3. What were your favorite memories from that show?
From Tom Hell's. Oh, okay. So I was just trying to understanding what when was it? So we did a very good show. It was really good, and we had fun, a lot of fun. And the coolest thing was to play with such a great bands from Italy, and we really enjoyed it. For me, one of the coolest thing was Doberman, the band after us. So the headliners, they are very good in Italy and also quite big. And I never saw, I think, live, but the bass player and the singer, so it's the same person, was playing with fire and spitting like the fire. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah, I can't even imagine to play and sing in the same moment. Can you imagine play, sing, and spit fire too? I was like, okay, I just sing and talk.
No, I'd be afraid for my
That's
hair.
it. Yeah, me too. Can you imagine? That would be fun. Definitely not for me, maybe, but for the other
Yeah, that's
people,
some
the crowd.
multitasking right there.
It is.
Lord,
Oh,
he had
Yeah,
a juggle
yeah.
on the side too.
Yeah, it's great. And it was playing, singing, spitting fire, and great. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
was,
know
and it was really good.
that band Rammstein. I don't know how they have so much fire. I don't know
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
how do they pull that off. It's
Yeah.
so much fire.
Yeah, so much fire. And in Rock It's Classic, we have fire. So we have that kind of fire. And it's crazy how hot it just the stage
Yeah.
gets when the fires are going. So it's like,
Did they
and
like did they like tell you, did they train you ahead of time, like where to walk and all to avoid getting burned? No, that's very
not
rock and
really.
roll. It's very rock and
It's really
roll.
rock and roll, and
Yeah.
I risked it once because I was like, I was really going, really going to the poo. So my hair was really close to be gone forever. But yeah, we have a kind of red spy going like careful. But if you are there singing and dancing and everything, so can be risky. But after the first show, then you know. So it's the first show which is really risky.
For sure, it's a scary show.
Yeah, the first one can be really like dead or alive. So
Dead or alive. Okay. Yeah.
I was so surprised when we talked to Herma. They had just done a show where they came out literally with blazing guns. And I was like, did you have to practice? She's like, oh, we got them the day before. And I thought, oh my God.
Oh,
There's no
yes.
planning at all. It's just
Not planning at all.
point and shoot.
Oh, Jesus.
So I also saw that you do vocal coaching. Have you ever had a student that you were like, I think you should really pick up knitting?
Accounting. Yeah. stick with
Accounting.
Yeah, I have many, many, I have to say. But I really think that if a person, even if it's not at all, it's his thing, for example, it's not out of tempo totally and not hearing one note. If he's really like, how can we say it, like focused, and he really wants to do it, I think that maybe the time can be longer. If I'm, of course, talented, then it's everything easier. But I really think that good training can really be really helpful, even if a person it's really not his thing at all. So I really have some persons who are like, when they arrived, I was like, oh, okay, we have a long, it's a real, long road. But now after maybe, let's say 4 or 5 years, they are singing on public, which is for me, wow. Like
That's
a really big thing it's a really big thing for them and also for me as a teacher. So now I have 50 students each week.
50 a week.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I bet you do have moments where you have to like go to stand outside and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I have some moments, and yeah. And I also my students know me so good. You're a Scorpio, I'm a Taurus, so I'm really like, if I had to say something, I say.
Oh yeah.
And I really had to learn how to say it properly, not like offending people in the really beginning. So yeah. So I have really this kind of moments in my lessons too. But yeah, I think that it's also helpful. Not just telling.
It's hard to, because you have to be critical, but you're really sweet. So you have to find a way to,
Yeah.
We're gonna work on this a little bit, and we're gonna try this again, and you know what I mean, like I know it takes time to learn.
It's yes. It's for me, it's 8 or 9 years that I'm teaching, and the first years it was like, I was the student of myself at first, just learning how to, and also to teach is really difficult to me. I don't think it's a thing that anybody can do.
Yeah,
honestly,
a lot of patience and
patience, and also really with the voice, it is like it's your own instrument, and you have to feel and to hear what's wrong on the other people in front of you, and it's not like a keyboard, you know what I mean? It's not that for example, a C and you say, oh, play a C, and it's playing a D and it's wrong. No, it's different. So I think it's difficult, but I really love to teach. It's a big passion of mine. I really love it.
I always wanted to know this from a vocal coach. How long does it take usually for people to start to hear when they're sharp or flat? Because that's the key to me is you can hear. It's about hearing how you sound. Like, how long does that take usually for people to pick that up?
It depends. I think it really depends on the person who is singing and their, let's say, musical consciousness. And how their ears are working. So for me, for example, what was really, really a big help for me as a singer was to recording albums and working in a studio, because the studio doesn't have any, it is like what you're singing is what you get. Right. So in live shows, maybe you can, and it's not really clear as in the studio. If you're in the studio, then everything is like there and you hear it you
Yeah.
motherfucker, you hear it. So then
Right,
you
yeah.
really you
I
really
agree.
have to work on it. And for me, it was really, really a big training.
Yeah.
So, and on the time, I think it really depends. It really depends. I think there are singers who can be really never really on pitch, and
Yeah.
and still being a great singers. You know what I mean? It's
Well, we sing together on the show sometimes, and Stace was in chorus, so she's got a great voice, and I was always in
oh,
bands.
love it.
But the only thing that Stace I have to work with her on is she never did the count. She never did the, it's always all right.
Yeah.
The
What?
click, 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 click. So I have to like kind of touch her leg and be like, okay, 1, 3,
Go.
2, boom. Yeah, that's our signal that she comes
Okay.
in. Yeah.
I sang for this man. He had sung with the Concordia Choir, and he was a great teacher, but he had sometimes he'd make us all lay on the floor so we could feel our breath. Or
Okay.
he'd turn
Yeah.
us all into the bathroom so we could hear ourselves.
Yeah. Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can use it in my lessons. The bathroom. Yeah. It's I think that everybody has that kind of not perfect thing. So also with the timing, it
Yeah.
could be a problem for a lot of
Yeah.
singers. The timing, and as you said, absolutely, the pitches, I think, is the worst.
It
And
was a lot
also
more
in-ear
brutal.
monitors.
It was more
Yeah.
brutal. When I was in bands, it was more brutal. It was 4 guys. So it would be like, okay, let's try it again on key. Let's try.
Oh, yeah.
This is in D. Can we all, and like that was,
I know.
we
I
just
need
were
a
like,
chord.
we have no patience for, it wasn't like, okay, let's try. It was like, who's flat? Come on. Yeah, in a band,
Okay.
we didn't have time to fuck around.
Yeah. And also with the pitch, I was talking with my boyfriend too, and he's a guitar player and a singer, and we were talking about that. From time to time, the ears are like, how can I say it? Mine is different from yours, for example.
Right.
So what I hear can be a little different from what you hear.
Right.
So it can be also even more tricky. Of course, if something is like out on pitch or flat and then you can clearly hear it. But it's from time to time, it's really like little details, and I hear something really different from what you hear.
Yeah.
So
my singer was a real dick, and he would like, we would record a song.
Singers.
He would go, like, I'd be like, it was good, right? And he'd be like, well, yeah, Mark's a little sharp, but as always,
No.
I'd be like, damn it, I'm like, it's okay though. I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot. Like a slap in the face.
Fired.
Like, Mark's always a little sharp. Thanks, whatever. Yeah.
Now he's fired, so it's good. Oh yeah.
That's why I'm not in a band anymore. Yeah.
So
So I see you have the full pipe rock festival in Italy in September. So have you thought about what a set list might look like?
don't have a clue yet.
Okay.
I think we are now currently on our shows. We are playing several stuff from the past album, from Lilith, and also from, of course, the last one, because we did a second mistake after the name. So releasing the first album in the middle of the pandemic, so it was really fantastic moment for releasing an album. Of course, not promoting it at all on live shows. So we did our very first show on January this year. So it was really like, woo, thrilling moment. It was really, really good emotion. And so, yeah, I don't know what we were playing on Full Pipe Rock Festival. I think, of course, some songs from the first and some songs from the second. And yeah, Siren is not on the set list, unfortunately. They don't want to play it live. But maybe after this interview, I can ask them.
It's my favorite.
Yes. Yes. So we do it for Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Italy. We did it for Mark, but in Italy.
For the pandemic, I think wasn't Italy the first country to lock down?
Oh yeah, Venice. Venice was the first one. So I was, but the funny story behind it is that I was in Berlin with Alice Cooper.
Okay.
With Rock Mix Classic, and Italy got closed totally.
Yeah.
But I was still in Germany, so I was like, yeah, very nice. So we will see how we will figure it out. And for me, the best thing, and I really was there, so I can say to my firm, for example, when I will have some children, I will tell them that story, that Alice Cooper flew back to America. He left Germany, and we were just waking up, and he was not there anymore. So, and Germany was not closed, so the shows were still confirmed. Isn't that great? So
Wow.
they were telling me, Georgia, you have to fly back to Italy. And I said, okay, fantastic. And what about the shows? And they were really hoping that Germany was just canceling all the shows. And so fortunately, then it happened. But can you imagine if not? Then they
Yeah.
had to pay back all the tickets because
Um,
Alice Cooper just was like, the last show was like, hello, see you next show. And then he was like on the jet going back to America. And we were like, great. So what,
yeah.
what are we going to do?
Wow.
So yeah. And I saw also on the television, a Virgin Radio, a spot with Virgin Radio. And it was like, COVID, I don't fear you. And I was like, I really saw you leaving Europe. So we were, hey, so that's the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when I heard that Italy was going into lockdown because no one had locked down yet. And I just thought it seems so ridiculous. I'm like, they're closing the country.
Yeah.
How do you do that? And of course we learned later, but
Yeah.
it seemed
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
crazy at the time. I was like, they can't close the country. What the hell?
Yeah, it was brutal. And for me also, I was in Berlin, as I said, and there was only one flight left, and it was 1 hour far from where the moment I realized.
Yeah.
So, and they told me, it's not a problem. Then you go to Austria, and I was like, why should I go to Austria? I have to go back to my fucking hometown. So, and in the end, I was the only one on the plane with another captain, and we were just talking, and he was also going back home, a captain
Wow.
of a so it was like captain, is it the right word?
Yeah.
So and yeah, and then I made it, but it was not very funny, I have to
You had a
say.
private jet, just like
Yeah,
Alice.
I had also
a private
yes,
jet.
I was exactly. Yes, but it was not waiting for me. If not that, then I trained to Austria. Okay,
A
so
train to
fortunately I
Austria.
made it.
Oh,
And I was like, thank you.
yeah.
Thank
Who
you,
wants to be stuck
guys.
in
I
Austria for
love you
weeks
too.
and weeks? Yeah.
So we'd love
Yes,
to get you to
months.
tour over here.
Any plans for eventually coming over to the US for a tour or?
We would love to. I have to say, we would love to. I don't think this year it will happen because now we are working on the third album.
Right.
So we have some plans for the releasing of the new album, and hopefully with new company. But I would not tell you anything. We will
Okay.
see you after this album. So fingers crossed. So maybe it can happen. Of course, we would love to. So yeah,
Here,
I will let
I'll
you
put
know
it
for
together
sure.
for you, okay? We'll put you with like somebody older, we'll establish like Lita Ford. We'll put her with Lita Ford.
Right.
And then
Good.
Edge of Paradise and you guys. We'll send you out.
Yeah, that will be great.
There you go.
Love it. So it's
Problem
like
solved.
Edge of Paradise. I mean, yeah, let's do it.
I'll get booking that immediately.
Very nice. Thank you. I will send you the money later
Okay, there you go.
for the job. Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? We had a great time talking to you. This was-
Oh, same. Thank you so much for the
Oh.
patience. Also,
Yeah, and hopefully
you.
one day we'll get to see you, even if we got to come over to Italy.
yeah.
yeah. So let's do it. I'll wait you in the humidity of Venice. So
We can
on
ride
the thing,
together
on
on
the
a
gondola.
vampire gondola.
A gondola. Yes. Yes.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.